Harden, and we're in the Understanding video series, and this is video number 3. We've been talking about core beliefs in the last few videos, and we're going to continue this further exercise in working out our core beliefs, because I know this is a real difficulty for many people to discover what are the rules that they live their life by. I want you to think that with core beliefs, it is about like a filter that you have in your life. It's like what things you will get triggered by and what things you won't get triggered by. So it's really good to have a whole series of questions. And I'm actually going to read through a series of questions that I actually have on my screen behind me. And just so that you've got another way of finding your core beliefs. And really you have to answer these questions for yourself very honestly. Because the more honest you can be with yourself about this, the easier it is for you to be able to process this and come up with those core beliefs. Now remember, I said before that you can sort of start to find your core beliefs by being able to identify your thought and then asking that question: what does this mean about me? What does this say about me? So let's start with this series of questions. And again, try and be honest with yourself in this. You know, this is only to your own advantage, how you understand yourself. So thinking about how you will process how somebody else in front of you who's going through some anger situation or is having a tantrum, how do you process somebody else's anger? Even if it's not directed at you, or even if it is directed at you, how do you process someone's anger? How do you process someone who's aggressive or demanding? Just think about it. Just give yourself a memory or how you go through life. Many people discover that that's the places that they avoid. I avoid people who are aggressive. I avoid people who are angry. This is now the question to say, what does that say about me? What does it say about me? Maybe I have a rule in life that anger is not a safe emotion. Maybe my rule is do not express anger. Do not participate in someone who's angry. So think about it. That's how we start to process this. Okay, another question would be, how do you process when somebody is needy or demanding or asking you things even more than you can give? How do you process that? Okay. How do you process grief and sadness and loss in somebody else? You know, when a close friend has lost a parent, how do you process that? Again, it may give you some clues about your own core rules in life. How do you deal with rejection? Okay, if you've been betrayed or hurt by someone, or they've withdrawn their friendship from you, how do you process that? Now, this is the space of looking at the rules that you've come up with, because many people have rules about rejection. Someone rejects me, I'll reject them. You know, that's a sort of common rule that people will have. How do you handle stress in yourself? How do you handle stress in people around you? How do you do problem solving? What do you do problem solving? Do you go to somebody else for problem solving? Do you feel like it is, if it's your problem, you have to handle it yourself, or you're a person who would ask for help? See, these are the questions you need to use to be able to work out your own core rules. Do you take risks? Would you try new things? And how do you approach challenges and difficulties? So these things inform you of yourself. How do you handle unexpected praise or a surprise or a gift? Now, I'm just going to pause there in the questions. Very commonly, lots of people are very uncomfortable receiving a gift from somebody who's a stranger, or for someone that they have no sort of real connection with, and they will often refuse it. Say, oh no, don't give me that. So again, when you see that in yourself, it's a way to go, okay, receiving things from people that I don't know, I might be more willing to push it away. But you know, this is going to inform you of you, so you have an understanding of yourself. How do you express your own needs to other people? Are you able to share with people and tell them, you know, I need something, I need help? Or are you a person that has a strong sense of your own individuality and who says, no, if I need to do this on my own, I cannot ask for help? That's a space where it informs a rule that you may have had inside of you. How do you express when you're really going through pain and hurt? I mean, lots of people don't express that. They internalize it. They only express it to themselves. See, that could be a rule you have, that, you know, it's not safe to share vulnerabilities with people. And look, this is about understanding yourself. There's no judgment here. This is not a place where we're going to set the bad, rule or whatever. But this is to do with knowing yourself, because it's in knowing yourself that you can recognize those places that we get stuck into a loop. How do you say no to someone? If someone comes and asks you for something that you cannot help or fulfill, how do you say no to them? Do you say no? Or do you just avoid saying no and just hope they go away? See, again, these things are rules that you have internally where you make a decision about what things you'll say yes to and what things you'll say no to. And many people have a rule in life that they will always say yes to their friends, even when they sometimes should say no. And that's helpful for you to know if you're a person who has difficulty saying no to your friends, because you need to have ability to be able to work through your difficult situations, and there will be times to say no, even to your friends. So again, learning those places where we get stuck. How are you at trusting others? How are you at making friends? Again, start looking at that. Become an observer of what you've done before and analyse it a little bit and go, okay, these are the patterns that I've had, and these are the things where I've, had a repeated way that I've behaved. And in reality, it's informing you of a rule that you have within yourself. How do you interact with people who are quite different to you? Again, look, lots of people have rules that have come from their family background. Their parents who were mistrustful of somebody of a different skin colour, or parents who might have been wary of people who spoke a different language. Sometimes we've developed unconscious rules about someone's race or someone's background, and it's helpful to start to think about them. Okay, who am I uncomfortable with? What is that informing me of? And where can I perhaps start to, shift the emphasis a little bit so that I know that I won't get stuck with this down the track? In reality, these are good questions. Again, when we do these questions, what we're trying to do is inform ourselves, ask ourselves that question, what does this say about me? And then we'll come to those core beliefs. And these are core beliefs about ourselves, core beliefs about others, core beliefs about the world around us, and including our core beliefs about God. I want you to do the exercise in this video of those questions that I've asked. Maybe stop and pause the video every now and then and just write down whatever comes to mind in these questions. Answer them honestly for yourself. And when you've answered that honestly, ask, what does this mean about me? And then after you've done that, you can write down, this means that I believe, and whatever it is that you believe about, and what it is that you would believe it about. So have a go at this exercise. This is really to, again, understand yourself, understand the world around you, and understand how you interact with others, so that you have a greater understanding and ability to process the things that people are going through in this world. Join me for the next video in this series. This is another one of my favourite passages from Romans 12. This is in the Message translation. So here's what I want you to do. God helping you. Take your everyday, ordinary life, your sleeping, eating, going to work and walking around life, and place it before God as an offering. Embrace what God does for you. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing you can do for Him. Don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you fit into it without even thinking. Instead, fix your attention on God. You'll be changed from the inside out. Readily recognize what He wants from you and quickly respond to it. Unlike the culture around you, always dragging you down to its level of immaturity, God brings the best out of you, developing well-formed maturity in you.